Peace. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Today is Classicman Healthy Friday. Super excited today because today I have a special guest in. His name is Dhata Harris. Man, he has a strong testimony about a specific product called fortyflora that he used. And not only that, this gentleman right here was able to remove an MS challenge that he had been facing. So we're going to briefly talk about that as well. But glad to see you guys here, and this is something that I'm going to be doing every Friday. I'm going to try to bring in special guests, to talk about the products and just talk about life alone, going up in age, getting seasoned as a gentleman, as a classic man, a black man in America. We have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, we need to take care of our health. So me being a barber, I understand that it's not just about getting a haircut and looking good with your presentation, but you have to work on your health. Nowadays, you really have to know what's going on inside. We'll talk about a scanner that I use as well to give you a diagnostic on what's going on in your system, and then it will empower you before you go to the doctor. Now it's no more guessing. You can go to the doctor and say, look, we got some issues going on right here in my kidneys and livers that needs to be addressed immediately. Let's put a plan together. Then you would have that option whether or not you want to go the holistic route or the pharmaceutical drugs. Anyway, let's get into it. Thank you for coming by today, Mr. Dhata Harris.
Appreciate it, Jay.
Tell the people where you're from, man.
Okay, I'm originally from Ohio. Don't hold it against me, but yeah, I've been here in Atlanta for the better part of, since 2001. Moved right here after graduating from Florida A&M University.
Oh, wow. FAMU, ladies and gentlemen. So them FAMU rattlers out there. Hey, he's a FAMU rattler, ladies and gentlemen. So let's jump right into the meat and potatoes of this now. Let's talk about, your MS journey and how you're spearheading something right now to educate those individuals out there that may be facing, going through this MS challenge. And how long have you been going through that challenge?
Yeah, so what happened with MS, I'm a Hall of Fame athlete, from my high school, so I'll go ahead and give myself that plug. But if you have something where you feel like you're the best at something and have been recognized, I took that as a challenge. When they told me that there was no known cause and no known cure, I'm like, okay, let's see what we're going to do about that. Because with MS, it literally took me about 3 years before I was diagnosed. And ultimately, it wasn't my primary care physician. It was his physician's assistant who, she started noticing patterns. And she said, the doctor isn't going to give you this MRI, but if you request it, he'll have to give it to you. So I took her advice. I said, hey, I'm going to get this MRI. And, the doctor had to give it to me. So it was right around November of 2008. And that was my Thanksgiving present, was a diagnosis of MS.
Oh, wow. So how did that feel when you got that diagnosis, and what was your vision? Did you say to yourself, hey, did you just settle with it, or you just say, hey, nah, this not gonna get me. Let me fight. How did that? What was that transition, that change when you found out you were diagnosed with MS?
Well, the transition, first part was validation, right? Because you've got this invisible illness that, you can't tell if you're feeling lazy, if you're getting, grown, and you just don't want to, your body doesn't want to move. So the validation that there was something wrong with me, that part was like, okay, you know what? We can deal with that. So I asked about treatment options, and they said, there's no known cause and no known cure. So for me, that was almost like a death sentence, like somebody shot me, and there's nothing I can do about it except for just prolong the death. And I'm like, you know what? I am not good with that. So I understand that that's one of the reasons why MS has, so many people who are depressed, so many people who are just not enjoying the activities of daily life, because they've literally been handed down a death sentence to the point where cancer patients are saying, ooh, you got MS.
Wow.
There's no bell for them to ring, and I'm trying to give them a bell to ring because, again, I'm 8 years without medication. I'm 8 years without symptoms of MS from a disease that says no known cause, no known cure.
Wow. So very briefly, let's tell the people about some action steps that you took.
So the one thing that you're going to want to do is really just educate yourself first, because again, in something that they have no idea of cause or cure, guess what? That means you can be your own doctor. Right? So there's nothing that stops you from really getting the information. So one, I said, okay, well, what does the medical literature say about, my condition? What was going on with me at the time where I started getting my condition? So I noticed I had periodontal disease right around the time where I started getting my first symptoms. there was actually a mold exposure. I had no idea that mold can break down into your system into what's called mycotoxins. Mycotoxins, almost 99% match and mimic all the symptoms of MS.
Oh, wow.
So when you start, getting on that journey, and you're like, hey, why is nobody talking about this? Because I went to my primary care physician with my findings. He's like, I can send you to holistic medicine. I can send you to, these integrative medicine specialists. And again, there's a belief that they are kind of more on the, I won't call it quack side, but they're on the fringe medicine versus the basic establishment. So, one of the things that I've done recently, of course, I believe in vital health and, the 40-flora product. At first, and this is going to sound like a commercial, but I was skeptical. So, I took the detox like everybody else, but then I found this product called 40-flora as I invested in the program. And I'm like, you know what? I feel better.
Wow.
So again, I started, looking at the ingredients. I'm like, activated charcoal, some of these other things. And I was like, oh, guess what? For the mycotoxins, you actually see that activated charcoal, bentonite clay, diatomaceous earth, and kaffir and some of these other things, they actually remove those mycotoxins from your body. And those mycotoxins, specifically ochratoxin, is one of the predecessors of prostate cancer, which is a disease that's very prevalent to us, but nobody tells us why, other than, hey, your father had it, so you most likely gonna get it.
Wow. And what's that mycotoxin called?
It's called ochratoxin A.
Ochratoxin A. Ladies and gentlemen, he's educating you guys, so you can look this up yourself. And this particular product he's talking about, I spoke about on Classicman Healthy Fridays, is our 40-flora product. Now, we're not making any medical claims to cure, mitigate anything, but he's just letting you know his experience.
Right.
And then my experience with 40-flora as well, I suffered from GERD, acid reflux. Every time I would eat, I would feel bloated. And then if I eat too late, go to lay down, and feel like it's about to come back up, going through those issues. But with taking 40-flora at least one time a day, maybe before I eat or in the morning, not only does it flush away all those toxins and gut stuff that's hanging around, but it helps me feel better and it helps my digestive system. Now, Dhata Harris is a partner in Vital Health, and when he gave me that testimony about the 40-flora and the MS and what he had going on, I was very excited because now we can help those individuals that may be suffering from MS and feel that they're powerless and they have nothing they can do or no alternative they can use for their issue.
And that's really a key point, right? Because when we talk about that detox, so we started with the detox,
with the T-tox,
with the T. But that additional thing, people with MS, you've already got a genetic predisposition that inhibits your body's ability to detox. So if you get a toxin in your system, sometimes you need a little help. These products can actually help that toxification system that's slightly broken in your body to resume normal function. And guess what? Once you resume that normal detox function, you resume some of your body's function, and you can tell your doctors, yes, there is a known cause. Yes, there is a known cure.
Wow, wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dhata Harris will be on again. We have a segment where he's going to break down his journey, his program that he put together to help a lot of individuals in the MS community. So today, I want to thank you guys for your attention here at Classicman Healthy Fridays, and I want to thank Mr. Dhata Harris for coming through. Every time I call this gentleman, he always come through in his kingship. I want one of those the things you got around your neck. That's part of his logo, but we'll talk about that on another segment. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Classicman Healthy Fridays. Again, if you come in dressed the part, you will get $10 off your groomsman haircut. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Tune in next Friday. I'm thinking about having another guest fall through. Peace.
Stay blessed.